This is going to be the first bingo race. This has already happened. These are asynchronous racers. I gave them the seed and the bingo board, and then they went and raced at different times. And we're going to compare all their times now to see how they did. So this is essentially our first tournament match of the bingo tournament. Let's go ahead and see how everybody did here. Did this lose? Hold on. Resync. Hold. Okay, we're synced. We're synced. Okay. I think we're synced. So I'm using this weird website that's supposed to sync up everybody's views so that way they all start at the same time. Hopefully it works. It did not work. It did not work at all. What the hell? Resync. Start. Oh, it looks like it worked. Okay. Awesome. So we actually get to see everybody's perspective here. So in the top left-hand corner, this is Matthias. In the top right-hand corner, this is Crazy Four Blades. In the bottom left-hand corner, this is Durdrak. And in the bottom right corner is Zopa, I believe. XOPA. And yeah, we're going to be watching everybody's perspectives. The bingo board has a ton of different stuff. It might be a little bit harder to read depending on which board you're looking at, but everybody has the same board. The goal was first to collect 13 squares would be, like that's your placement time. As soon as you collect 13 squares, that's a majority of the board, and that's considered time. So all of these players are going to be racing to collect 13 squares as quickly as possible, and we'll see how they did. I will say there are some incredibly fast routes, as well as, you know, some maybe not so fast routes. We'll see. We'll see. Because that's the best part about bingo. It's not necessarily about, like, getting... In my opinion, I feel like there's a lot less luck involved. There's a lot more skill because you are given a specific board, and it's all based off of your routing for that board. They are watching this cutscene. This is part of the bingo... randomizer, where there's going to be randomized items, but the relics are always going to be in the same spot. And they're just going to be trying to collect different squares. For example, the squares are in order: all Castle 2 warps, see Mist Could Pass message in 4 different locations, collect Spirit Orb, Fairy Scroll, Mermaid Statue, kill a Guardian with Fairy Scroll active, pick up Silver Ring while wearing Spikebreaker, pick up Spikebreaker while having Echo of Bat. Press the shortcut between Castle Entrance and Marble Gallery. Collect all Vlad relics. See the magically sealed message in 4 locations. Have the Fairy Familiar use a non-healing item. Kill Spike Ball with Fairy Scroll active. Defeat Grand Falloon. Kill Karasamon in second castle without having defeating the Karasamon boss. Look through the telescope. Have Devil Familiar kill an imp. Pick up Soul of Wolf without collecting Form of Mist. Defeat Hippogriff without having Soul of Bat or Gravity Boots. Kill at least 1 fire demon, defeat Sagar and Gaibon at castle entrance, talk to Librarian for the first time while in bat form, kill 5 green slimes, defeat Galamoth, take damage from the confession booth, kill at least 1 Cthulhu in both castles, defeat fake heroes, Sypha, Grant, and Trevor without spells. So those are all the squares. Keep all of those in your brain. All of these players have to keep all of those in their brain as they run through the game here. If you guys want to do a gamba on who wins, I guess that's a 4-way gamba, but is that what you want? We can do it if you guys want. Actually, I can't because the information is actually public if you are in the Discord. Actually, I won't do a gamba on this because technically you could find out who wins if you have access to the tournament section of the Discord. But feel free to let me know in the chat who you think is going to win. As of right now, Durdrak with a somewhat early lead. Am I able to change the audio? Oh, I can change who has audio control. This website's kind of nice. I like this. I've never used this before, and I'm glad it's working out just fine. Yeah, all their timers are synced up, too. This is really nice. Why are their capes that color? Because they are playing a random seed. So there is a bingo randomizer going on here. They start with random items. The item drops from the enemies are randomized. The items that appear on the map are randomized as well. But the relics are always in the same location. That's just so that way everybody can have a understanding of how to route to different locations, how to route in specific relics. but the items are going to be randomized. So it's going to, you have to think on your feet every single time you play the game, because it's like, okay, is my weapon good enough to, let's say, for example, go kill Hippogriff right now? Will that take too much time? They start with an Alucard sword this seed. Wow. And a Garnet, so they have money and a little bit of firepower. Okay. And, of course, vanilla Cube of Zoe, because the relics are not random. Yeah, too bad Death took away all of their stuff. And as you're going to see, I think almost everybody is going to be going for this square, which is defeat Slogger Gaibon at castle entrance. Durdrak is already doing it right now. In order to do that, you have to load in the Alchemy Lab area, and then you have to come back into the castle entrance. This will spawn in the boss fight with... or sorry, it's like an encounter. It's technically not a boss fight, but there they are. Slogger and Gaibon here on the bottom left. And as soon as you see them fly away and they're no longer hittable, you have now defeated them at entrance, and Durdrak marks that square. I guess Zopa in the bottom right is choosing not to go for it. This is actually an interesting strategy in like a lockout scenario, because this does take away time that you could be doing other things. So a lot of people going out of their way to click defeat Slogger and Gaibon. Meanwhile, Zopa says no. And it looks like Crazy Four Blades really struggling to click that square. Oh, man. A little bit of technical issues there. Very handsome player, top left, by the way. What up, Matthews? Yo, yo, yo. I'm excited to see your route. I haven't, I skimmed through all of these to make sure that it was legit, but I didn't watch everybody's routes start to finish, so I'm excited to see some stuff. Already, we see magically sealed in one location for Zopa in the bottom right. That's a good one to look for. Yep, immediately getting it out of the way. So seeing the magically sealed symbol, that is something you're going to have to keep track of on your own, but essentially it just means you have to walk up to a blue sealed door without having the Jewel of Open available. When will lockout happen? It's after the preliminary races. That is correct. We are going to be doing lockout races, which is for the 1v1 format specifically. Lockout doesn't really make sense when you have more than 2 people, because it gets very chaotic very quickly. Getting a majority is not necessarily like guaranteed in the same way that it is with only 2 racers. All that fun stuff. Yo, is that Uzi Necromancer with the tier 3? Thank you so very much. Joel. Indeed, that is our final tier 3 sub for our goal for right now. So let's go ahead and hold on. Let's pause what we're doing here. Let's do a quick little pause, and we'll be back to this in 1 second. Anyways, there we are. We are so back. And yeah, as of right now, everybody... The thing about bingo is it does start pretty slow, I will say. Oh, another thing to note is everybody starts with the holy glasses in their inventory. This is just to allow players to route between the castles a little bit more fluidly, because when we were doing testing originally, it was kind of a pain in the ass to always have to get silver ring, always have to grab gold ring, always go to the center of the castle and talk to Maria. It added like 15 minutes to any single time you wanted to go to the second castle, and what ended up happening is nobody did any of the second castle squares unless they absolutely had to. But now there's this really cool dynamic on each board where you have to ask yourself, is this like a first castle board or is this a second castle board? And if it's a second castle board, you have to ask yourself then, okay, what's the minimum number of things I need to get done in the first castle, like get Soul of Bat, for example, or even just get like Gravity Boots or Mist Power, Mist, whatever, and then immediately go to the second castle to go get a bunch of squares uncontested, for example, if you're doing a lockout race. If you're doing a non-lockout race like this one, you can then kind of ask yourself, what is the most efficient squares, and how do I just go from A to B to C, etc., etc., etc. And we're already seeing yet another split. A couple of players opted to grab the Spirit Orb. I guess they're going for, what is it? Spirit Orb. What's that square? Spirit Orb, Fairy Scroll, Merman Statue to collect a square. Durdrak opts not to. Matthias opts to grab the Spirit Orb, and so does Crazy Four Blades, but Crazy Four Blades is also doing the Forbidden route to grab the shortcut between Castle Entrance and Marble Gallery. This, in a lockout sense, I think is a really smart play where you just get the square early and you lose. I think it's like maybe a minute and a half. I actually don't know how long it takes. So, oh, did Durdrak get a shield drop? I didn't notice that. And there's look through the telescope for Durdrak in the bottom left. So as you can see, the way that bingo basically works is you are given a bunch of arbitrary goals that you have to go complete. Some of them are combat challenges, some of them are routing challenges. In Symphony of the Night, most of these are routing challenges, but he's also getting Cthulhu, so it's not that bad. Oh, that is true. Yeah, there is a Cthulhu down there. That is another important good thing to point out, Matthias. One of the really important aspects of bingo as well is synergies. So essentially, if you can find 2 squares or more that allow you to make progress towards multiple squares at the same time, that's just going to be more efficient for routing overall. You know what I mean? Yeah, I forgot about the Cthulhu, but with Cthulhu in mind, it makes it really not that bad. It's also interesting that this seed, because I had no clue what was going to be in this seed, I just rolled a random one. Starting with Alucard Sword is pretty strong. I will say getting a random shield drop is also very, very powerful. Like, that increases your movement options, like, pretty significantly. Over the course of an entire seed, it's pretty nice. But pretty much, you know, 2 squares for Durdrak, 2 squares for Crazy. Oh, getting the magically sealed message on the way down as well from Matthias. Very, very powerful play there. Not magically sealed, sorry. A mist could pass. That's what it was. Yeah, there's a mist gate down there, which is another one. So lots of synergies here on this side of the castle. You have the looking glass. You have 2 different mist gates out here if you want to go to the one all the way in the library, which you can see the mist gate with just Wolf. But you wouldn't be able to get back up. I don't think so. Interesting. And here's an interesting one as well. Immediately going into the library with just Soul of Wolf. Probably to grab Fairy Scroll, if I had to guess, from Durdrak here in the bottom left. I feel like Durdrak is kind of flying right now. Mana Prism drop from the in the library as well. So specific candles in the library can drop random single-use items, and it being the Mana Prism is really, really interesting. There's the Fairy Scroll. And Durdrak with the patented level up, or not level up, but relic acquisition skip. Not even checking out the shop or anything. Interesting. Not even grabbing Jewel of Open. I feel like if you're here, you might as well grab Jewel of Open. I think Durdrak also just realized, yeah, I should at least grab Jewel of Open while I'm here, right? It's only going to help you with routing later on. You thought I curated the seed? No, I just rolled a random one. Also going for the Fairy Relic. Fairy Familiar. Unfortunate damage boost. Or not damage boost, but like getting hit from the book. This could be what the other players need to catch up. I feel like Durdrak's in a really strong position here. Uh-oh. Not great RNG from the books. Yeah, okay. Yeah, getting up there with just Soul of Wolf is pretty tough. I'm not going to lie. You kind of need the books to behave. That should work. Yep. 3rd try on the book jump for Durdrak. Also gets rewarded with an opal. Wow. Bingo tournament is real? Yeah, it started. It has started. We're watching an asynchronous race right now. So... still no Jewel of Open on God. I guess actually that might make sense because you don't want to go into the inventory and then remove it to seal the magically sealed messages. I don't know. Oh, immediately gets the square. Had a uncurse. So the fairy just used a non-healing item immediately. Yeah, that square can be a little tough because it does rely on finding random items, but I figured with the shop always giving you single-use items, there's lots of item locations that are forced to give you single-use items. You are very, very likely to find a anti-venom, an uncurse, a hammer, you know, something of that nature. And then it also forces you to get the fairy familiar, so... Oh, bat before librarian. You're so right. See, this is why I watch the bingo races and don't perform them, because I would have thrown that square away, thinking I need to grab Jewel of Open. Very silly of me. I wasn't quite paying attention to Matthews, but considering the fact that, again, he's in the top left, he's in Alrox's quarters right now, that leads me to believe that he chose to skip the library and plans to come back for it later. Also, I think he got the shield drop as well. Interesting. Here's a question. Zopa in the bottom right is doing the thing that I said is probably not the smartest idea, which is coming down here with just Soul of Wolf. Does he have a library card to escape with? He just wants to see the Mist Could Pass message, but how are you going to get out? Oh, yeah. You can't... Yeah, I think they forgot that you can't just go down there and then save split it away. If you try and make progress towards a square and then you save split, you lose the progress towards that square. So. Why are the boards not synchronized? They are the same board. Every single board is the same squares. They're just going for different squares. That's what bingo is all about. If they were synchronized, they would all be pressing the same, they would all be doing the same route. But the whole point of bingo is for you to have to route where you need to go on the fly. And there is the mist form for Matthias, and probably also going to be going towards Hippogriff right now, if I had to guess. Maybe with a save split if you don't plan on going all the way to Castle Keep. Yep. I do like this save. Oh, maybe not. Okay. So the way save splits work in bingo is if you collect the square, you can then save split and you keep all the progress. But if you make progress towards a square, like let's say, for example, it says kill 5 green slimes. You kill 4 green slimes and then you reset and then you kill 1 green slime. It does not count. On that one continuous save, you have to do all of that square, if that makes sense. So you have to be very, very careful if you're using save splits on progressive squares like that. Usually you only want to use save splits on something that is like a one and done, like look through the telescope, for example. It's just a thing you do, and then you can reset, and it doesn't matter afterwards. Oh, good RNG from Matthias, because it's, I think, a 50-50, whether this guy will come out and do damage to you or not. So immediately takes damage from the confessional booth. Nice. I just wanted the shortcut open for later. Save split here is so powerful. Yeah, that makes sense. That's something I wouldn't have thought of, which is press the switch for the shortcut and then save split. And Durdrak is not terribly far behind. Ooh, getting the Spectral Sword kill? Is this a Spike Ball with Fairy Scroll active situation? Yes, it is. Okay, I like this. Went into the library to get the Fairy Scroll, knowing that you were going to come back out this way, and is going to do a Spike Ball kill with Fairy Scroll active. There we go. Nice. Durdrak's route is kind of interesting. I like it a lot. We don't have the Spectral Swords on this board, so... And there's Hippogriff without Soul of Bat or Gravity Boots. Is going to reset that away. Also good RNG for Durdrak here. Getting Purple Guy instantly. And... we do see Crazy Four Blades in the top right. I wonder what he's going for right now, because he has Jewel of Open, which means he's forfeiting the square of talking to the librarian with Soul of Bat active. So he's forfeiting 1 square to get access to Jewel of Open early. It's one of the things where having squares that lock you out of certain things, I think, can create some interesting routing decisions where you're giving up potential squares or lines to go for other things faster. So it's just adds to the capacity, the mental capacity you have to go for and remember. The tracker for the bingo board is not automatic. You have to click it after the specific timing of considering that action is, being completed. If you click a square early, for example, especially in a lockout scenario, you're asking for trouble. So if there was a way to automate the bingo boards, that'd be fantastic for sure, but that technology does not exist, unfortunately. Or I guess it technically could exist, but man, would it be a pain in the ass to program. Like a Lua script that hooked into the game and then was checking to see if you completed specific actions. That'd be crazy. I imagine Matthias is probably on his way back into the library. Yeah, into the library. Durdrak with 4 HP right now. Doesn't have any armor. Just has to stay alive. Dies to Hippogriff? Wow. Okay. I didn't know that was going to happen. Like I said, I skimmed through the VODs. So I wasn't sure was... Wow. Durdrak had the Mana Prism. I wonder if he had already used it and didn't want to use it there to then Soul Steal. I imagine... No save? That explains a lot. Okay. So Durdrak's final time, I was like, man, that seems a little bit uncharacteristic of like your skill level and stuff. And now I understand why. They basically lost 20 minutes. Wow. So now he's going to have to figure out a completely different route. Thankfully, he gets to keep all of the squares he's already collected, but now it's definitely a rough spot for sure. Wow, yeah. Thought I was playing? No, I'm not playing. I'm reviewing the race that happened asynchronously while I was gone on vacation. This is also technically the first bingo race of the tournament. So we have a total of 5 players who have submitted a race and are now in the tournament. So yeah, I mean, with that in mind, I think Matthias probably in the lead by a lot. There's Soul of Bat, probably going to go to the librarian now. Oh yeah, Asafune. Crazy Four Blades found the Asafune somewhere, which is a fantastic weapon. Probably worth keeping for sure. Worth using over the Alucard sword for now. Asynchronously, yes. So what ended up happening is while I was out of town, I presented the option for players to race, but they didn't all have to get together and like do it at the same time. So the seed was kept hidden from the player, the actual random seed that they were playing, the randomized items, the randomized basically items for this the way that bingo works. So they couldn't just like record it ahead of time or re-record it. And then I sent them the seed, and then the players had 2 hours to send me back a video file of them completing it. And they could do that at their own leisure. They basically messaged me saying, hey, I'm ready. And then I sent them the seed, and then they had 2 hours to finish it. And now we are watching back all of their perspectives, but I have synced them up from the start, so... I didn't see what was in the shop, but I haven't seen a difference in weapon yet, so if there was anything crazy in the shop, I did miss that. Crazy Four Blades is all the way in the... Gets Leap Stone. Okay. What is Crazy Four Blades cooking right now? Because right now, I mean, they've done a lot, but they don't have access to Alrox's quarters yet, or they haven't been to Alrox's quarters yet. Maybe warping to Outer Wall and then doing all that stuff? Very interesting. No Soul of Bat, no flight yet. Matthews chilling with the Soul of Bat. All of the relics are vanilla, yes. Relics are vanilla, items are randomized. The reason relics are vanilla is specifically to allow players to route the board knowing where certain things are going to be. But not knowing which items they're going to have in those circumstances is basically the way I'm putting it. Techo, thank you very much for the tier 3 sub for 15 months. Holy.
on the bingo DB. /
Appreciate it. I mean, I'm not the one playing. I appreciate the good luck. We're just watching back the first tournament race. So far, a lot of, like, I think it's crazy that every single player was given the same board and came up with completely, we're seeing 4 different routes. Which I think goes to show the versatility and the differences that each player, what's the word? Prioritizes in a bingo format, which is really, really cool. Pause the race? Okay, I'll pause the race real quick. I'll pause it. That asynchronous races, we get to sync them up after the fact. It's pretty cool. All right, unpause. Sorry about that. We gotta support and appreciate our tier 3 subscribers here on the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. And also, I guess if you're watching this on Dragon Blitz Daily, thank you for chilling, hanging out, checking out what the bingo tournament is kind of gonna look like moving forward. For the actual like 1v1 matches, I'm just gonna have the board on my side. In fact, actually for the non-asynchronous races, I can just have one bingo board that everybody shares, and we'll just have it like really big in the middle, and then we'll have the gameplay around it or something like that. I'll figure out a better layout, but this is just because we did an asynchronous race. But also, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Join the live stream, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz, etc., etc. I think Kamala Harris has a Twitch. Oh, God. Yeah, I have to gift a random Twitch account, a sub to my channel. Or not a random one, but anyone that you would like, the tier 3 subscriber. So whoever Techo wants will be gifted a subscription. Kamala Harris is funny. I know there's a lot of different people with Twitch accounts. Who's to say? So right now, if we're looking at just squares, we have Mathias with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have Crazy Four Blades 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they're both in the same area, just with different relics acquired. And honestly, Durdrak still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. And I think Zopa has is just not marking the squares, or they are marking the squares. They're just not updating on their capture, which is, you know, who's to say? Mystery amount. Darude. We're going to give to Konami. Okay, got you, Techo. We'll do that in a second. I guess I'll do that right now while you guys continue watching this beautiful tournament match here. What is going on? Why is Mathias here looking for Echo of Bat? Oh, pick up Spikebreaker while having Echo of Bat. So Mathias does have to kill Alrox to pick up Echo of Bat. Is there anything else synergy-wise in this area? I guess Silver Ring, but you have to come back later for that. So this is a little bit of a out-of-the-way bingo square, but I guess it's not too out of the way, all things considered. You kind of just come in, kill this guy, and then leave. Anyways, let's give that sub. Gift to a specific user. Konami. There's Konami. Here you go, Konami. Enjoy your sub. Yeah, we're doing lockout for 1v1s. For larger scale races, we're not doing lockout. But... Oh, hey, Dragon Blitz, thank you for gifting that sub. I bet you're really cool and handsome. Gifting it to Konami, what? Enjoy the sub, enjoy the emotes. Watch, Konami, the new social media manager, is going to see that I have emotes based off of Symphony of the Night. I'm going to get sued because of this. They're going to be like, you can't have that. Oh, you still haven't done Spike Ball, so you're getting the shortcut here? Okay. I mean, you already have the other shortcut, I feel like, but interesting. They're going to find the Medusi page. Oh, God. The website. Nothing is safe. So Crazy Four Blades finally picks up Soul of Wolf after collecting Form of Mist. Okay, so that explains why their route is so different. Interesting, interesting. Because I was wondering why they were avoiding picking up Soul of Wolf, but yeah, it's just intentionally choosing not to. And Durdrak, after dying, reloads the game and is now heading towards Castle Keep, which makes sense. They're doing 0 Relic Castle Keep. Getting unlucky with the Medusa head spawns. 5 golds in a row? Damn. 6 golds? Finally gets the damage boost and is now going to be proceeding this way. I guess that makes sense. You basically want to do a completely different route if you happen to die and reset, so that way you can get different goals. So this is probably trying to do stuff, for example, similar to Crazy Four Blades, like picking up Soul of Wolf after collecting Form of Mist, that sort of thing. Probably going straight for Leapstone. Maybe Leapstone plus Power of Mist would be my guess. It's been subbed for 3 months already. Oh, that's funny. What's up, J-Dub? Yeah, I had a lot of fun on my trip. I went to a friend's wedding. I was there to help set up and, you know, be there. 13 squares? Yes, 13 squares is the win condition because it is a majority. Each bingo board is 25 total squares. So as soon as you collect 13, you have a majority. That's basically one of the win conditions for lockout bingo. So for asynchronous races or for group races, I wanted it to kind of try and simulate that. So it's a slightly different format for 1v1s, but you're getting a similar vibe. And you're still getting good, what's it called? Good practice. Bottom right dude does have squares. They're just not clicking them, or it's not updating on their screen. They were having some issues setting up their OBS. So it is what it is. The squares will get updated at the very end. Yeah, I think it's like an OBS window capture issue. That won't be a problem for later races because I will have my own bingo board that they are connected to. So it'll update on my end. So it doesn't matter what their window capture looks like. Would you rather be in a wedding party or would you rather attend one? I don't know what you mean by this. Is there a difference? I'm confused. Just got home from lifting weights at the gym and getting a model airplane kit from Hobbytown. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you, Razor Capri Sun. Sounds like you're having a fantastic day. Holy. Matthias collects Merman statue, collecting that square, the Spirit Orb, Fairy Scroll, and Merman statue square. It's not a bad one. It's really not. I think people get scared of collecting because it's like, oh, I have to collect 3 different relics that don't do anything. But most of the time, you're going to be in these areas anyway, so. Hey, been loving the videos for the last year or so. Way to relax after work. Managed to catch you live. Oh, thank you, Sable. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, no. So I guess that is the downside of doing an asynchronous race, that if, you know, something happens, like the player forgets to update their board, or there's an issue updating their board, or there was a 5th person in this race. They did the wrong board and made a mistake. So that's why I'm not showing their gameplay here, because it's a completely different board, so it doesn't make sense. It's one of the reasons I don't want to do these asynchronous races going forward. I did this as for a few reasons, to test how many people were interested in participating in the bingo event in the first place, as well as to give people something to do while I was out of town. So I think it worked out. But unfortunately, primes don't help with the Partner Plus push, no. It's only paid subscriptions, specifically Tier 1, Tier 2, or Tier 3. and they can't be like gifted subscriptions, but it's fine. Feel free to support in whatever way you want. We're chilling over here. If you got the means to do a little extra, great. If not, don't worry about it. And you get all the emotes, so enjoy the emote Sable. Go crazy. Ad-free viewing as well. All right, so my major interests right now as far as progression goes, we see a ton of squares for Mathias. Mathias's route is pretty damn powerful, I want to say. And we finally have Crazy Four Blades fighting Allrocks as well. As far as total number of squares, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Mathias is on his way towards Spikebreaker while having Echo of Bat and kill 5 slimes. So that's 2 more. Honestly, making really, really strong pace right now. Yeah, Durdrak honestly having to catch up quite a bit after that unfortunate death to Hippogriff. Gifted's not counting is kind of bullshit. I agree, but you know, it is what it is. How close are we to this month's PPP? I haven't checked in a while. I imagine since we've gotten a few tier 3s, and that doesn't update for a few hours, I think we're doing pretty okay. We got 4 tier 3s today. That's 4 times 6, 24? Did I do that math right? 24 points plus also the additional tier 1s and stuff. It says 279 out of 300, but it hasn't been updated yet. We might be good for this month, which is huge. Oh, also, I forgot to mention the Partner Plus points. Not only are they helping me get Partner Plus, but for this month, the month of October, whatever Partner Plus points I have, so even if we go over 300, whatever we have at the end of the month, I'm going to take that number and add $1 to the prize pool for this tournament for every single Partner Plus point that we have extra. So if we somehow get a bunch of tier 3s and like end up with a Partner Plus score of like 400, 500, I'm going to add 400, 500, whatever dollars to the prize pool. So supporting me supports the tournament, which supports these players who are playing for our entertainment. And so far, I will say this is quite entertaining. Also, there's a base $200 prize pool. So I'm putting up $200, and then we're adding minimum $279 because that's what the current Partner Plus points total is according to Wecock. So, and right now, I will say, I don't think I would have found this route, the route that Mathias has taken. I think the fact that these players did have access to the bingo board ahead of time was pretty powerful for routing purposes, and I don't think everybody took full advantage of it. But I can tell Mathias was already prepared, for sure. It feels like Mathias was probably the most prepared out of everybody right now, and I think it shows because of his routing is very, very strong. Like, it feels like nothing was wasted here. Like, even like the miss could pass messages is going to line up with collecting gold and silver ring, and those are the last 2 that he needs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, that's it. And those 2 squares are right next to each other. Wow. It's 300 total, but I have to hit that for 3 months in a row. So it's 300 points this month, 300 points for November, and then 300 points for December. So you spent 30 minutes routing it? That's awesome, dude. As you can tell, I played nothing but Super Metroid for a while before this. Hell yeah. Honestly, you're winning, Durdrak, in my mind, just for playing Super Metroid. You guys want to do a Super Metroid bingo tournament instead? Nah, it's all good. Your route was really strong, I feel like, until, you know, the incident. I pretty much agreed with every decision you made. I want to play some of that new Super Metroid map rando. They've updated it recently. And I also want to get better at it, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And I've told you guys before, I have another Super Metroid video that I want to start working on soon. I want a Milk Bob emote. I mean, tier 1 subscription or Prime sub. Or if you get gifted a sub, all those things. What did they update? I think they added new map configurations. Because the way that the map configurations work is that they are essentially predetermined. So, and I think there it is. That's time. 39:06. Final time for Matthias on this board. Wow. That's crazy. That's very, very powerful. Meanwhile, we have Crazy with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total. Still needs 4 more squares. Durdrak, you know, doing what they do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Have you gotten any new squares after the death yet? I guess the Hippogriff one was the new one. Yeah, everything else had been before that death, so. We'll get there. We'll get there. Yeah, their randomizer is crazy. You didn't even see me trying to go through the Coliseum shortcut while it was closed. Oh, did that happen earlier? Oops. You know, to each their own. I feel like having a death like that early on really does throw you for a loop, though. But yeah, as I was saying with the Super Metroid map rando, since they have like pre-made map configurations and then the items follow the logic of those pre-made map configurations, I think they added new map configurations because those take like, I think the first version took like 8 months of constantly generating map seeds to get a total of like 15. I don't remember the number. It's like a few thousand map configurations. They've already seen duplicate map configurations with the old settings. It doesn't happen very often. It's very unlikely, but you can have complete duplicate map configurations. So they added new ones. And I think they changed around some of the logic for certain items. But yeah, it's cool. I do love the fact that people, the square, pick up Spike Breaker while having Echo of Bat. People still don't use Echo of Bat to get to Spike Breaker because you can just go through blind, but I do find that very funny. So now we're looking at, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 total squares for Crazy 4 Blades. I think, yeah, Crazy is definitely going to be the next one, I think. Just needs 3 more squares. Sometimes you just miss through the spikes. Yeah, you can do that. That's what I used to do back in the day when I was, before I knew about, like, actual speedrunning tech. Also, something to note, this seed was completable. You can get a majority without ever going to the second castle. I think that goes to show why it was so quick, because especially for later races, the what's it called? The ratio between second castle required squares as well as the first castle only, I think it's slightly in favor by 1. It's like 50-50 plus 1 for second castle. So the fact that 13 squares were completable without going to the second castle at all is, you know, pretty unlikely, all things considered. Yes, all of the 1v1s are going to be not blackout, but lockout bingos. So first to collect the square locks it from the other opponent from grabbing it. But for larger scale races, we're having everybody essentially go first to 13. But yeah, I'm very happy to already see all the routing differences in the first little asynchronous race we got going on here. Once we start doing these actually live, I'm excited to see how everybody reacts to it. Because when you're doing it live, you can see other people's routes as you're doing it as well. So I wonder if that ends up changing people's perspectives. I've done a few lockout runs. They're on my YouTube channel on Dragon Blitz Daily. We've had a couple that were pretty down to the wire. Like each player had 12 and 12, and it came down to the last square. We've done a few blowout ones as well. I think I've gotten blown out where I just get bingoed immediately, and then the other person just gets a bingo immediately or whatever. And I've bingoed people quickly, so it just comes down to the square and it comes down to routing. So if you get a line, you win instantly. So that's one of the things about lockout that makes it a lot more dangerous is you have to consider the line the opponent is taking and finding ways of blocking that line. No, your route was really good, Dirjak. You just needed to not die, yeah. I liked everyone's route, really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One last one, and I think it's going to be at Merman Statue, and I think Crazy Four Blades got this, right? Yep. Bam. There it is. That was like a 45.09 or something like that. And that's the first two done. So, yeah, I think overall, without going too deep into this, I believe Dirjak still has a bit of catching up to do. I mean, you lost like 20 minutes. If Dirjak didn't die, you probably would have won. I guess it just depends on which squares you were going for overall. Because in the moment, it's really hard to mentally try and figure out how quickly you can get through specific areas and how that's going to affect your final time. But I think it is clear that the map, or sorry, the board prep helped Matthias a lot for sure. For sure. I think from here we can kind of just you know, fast forward a little bit. Maybe, perhaps. No. Oh, did I just break it? Okay. Well, spoilers. Dirjak ends up finishing like 10 minutes later. Oops, I broke it. Okay. So this is why I don't want to do too many of these asynchronous races. This is just a test run. I hope you appreciated watching this. We're going to be doing these live starting Thursday. Thursday at 7 p.m. live on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz. Seems to be the agreed upon time for now. If that changes, I'll let y'all know. But I hope you enjoyed watching. Bye-bye, YouTube. Have a good one. Bye-bye. I can't believe I broke this. But hey, it worked for however long we needed it to work.